So before we got started, look at that cool cigar, huh? I think it's neat. It's got a pigtail for the cap, and the foot's closed foot. There's no good way to show all that off, so I want to show that off. Hey, let's get back to the video.
Gather us in the lost and forsaken. Gather us in the blind and the lame.
All right, let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Dish Super Farmer Cigar Garage Talks. Out in the garage today. It's actually really sunny and getting quite toasty outside. But you know what? I said let's go in the garage. I don't like smoking in the snow anyway. It's still snowing outside, or it still is winter outside when I shoot this video. Yeah, it's best just to be in the garage. I hope you enjoyed that little preview of the cigar, this Capa Oscura cigar. A lot was going on with it. Pigtail, foot or cap, and then it had the closed foot. Pretty good cigar. There is a rather large knot in the cigar. I tried poking it. I don't know if I made it better or worse. It's smoking okay though right now. So for the drink tonight, we have from Three Floyds. Wow, the old gods. And I finally get to show off my Christmas gift. The kids got me a bottle opener, Artifact of Unlocking, little beer bottle opener. Pretty cool. Works great. I have yet to use it. That's the first time I've been able to use it. Works like a charm. Really nice bottle opener. And then we're just going to give ourselves... Oh, I forgot to say this is an ale. I don't know if there's anything else real. I'll read the side of the bottle. I'm sorry. So excited to use my Christmas gift that I did not read. Brewed with orange peels, ginger, star anise, and grains of paradise. Okay. Nice amber color going on there. Let's give her a try. You know, I'm not a fan of star anise, but that actually works in there. I do have to admit, Three Floyds, you guys usually put forward some rather good brews. I'm usually not depressed with a Three Floyds. It's not my everyday, and I forget that I like them. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So how you guys doing? I'm doing all right. I do have a really sore ankle and calves. The ankles from we went bowling for the first time in 10 years. I did not do great, but not as bad as I feared. I did, though, forget that my bowling shoes, they kind of got this weird spot on them, so if you don't slide just right, you start sliding, but then your heel locks up, and you end up twisting your ankle a little bit. Oops. It's all right, though. I will live. And my calves hurt because I got to go do some work with ice fishermen. I got to get out on the ice, talk to some of the ice fishermen out there, which was a good time. If you've never been ice fishing, it's something completely different. You don't really need a boat, so you walk out or drive out onto the ice, drill a hole. And this is the only time of year and the only situation you're allowed to use traps. They're called tip-ups. They're little fishing poles hooked to a flag. So when you get a fish, it pops up a flag. And then you go and retrieve your fish. Very fun. The guys usually do it. It's one or the other. Either you're super social, you go with buddies and pals, form a little community, or you're antisocial, you and maybe one other person will go out, but you don't want to be around anyone. You don't want to talk. You don't want to interact. And I can respect both groups of people. I did do this for work, which was kind of funny because my bosses don't understand UP living in general, of course, but ice fishing, oh my goodness. You know, that's That's something that we don't understand. We don't get why people would want to walk, risk their lives to walk out onto the ice to catch fish. Well, one, as we do know, and I explained to them, fish is one of the most bestest, greatest, healthiest protein options out there between the vitamins and minerals, the omega-3 that you can get from it. Plus, if you're a hippy-dippy type, very low carbon footprint on fish, almost non-existent. So I had to explain to them, that's why they go fishing. They catch these fish because, it is such a great source of protein. And it's a culture thing, right? It's biblical. Teach a man to fish, or give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, and you'll eat for a lifetime. Straight out of the Bible about the fisher of men, as Jesus called Peter to be. And there is something about it. I'm not a huge fan of fishing. I'm not very good at it. That's probably why I don't like it. I'm not the best fisherman out there. So I'm not a huge fan. I don't like the taste of fish. I have tried again and again. No, I don't want your recipe for baked fish, fried fish. I've tried it all. I do eat it. It's not like I'm repulsed by it, of course, but I'm just not a huge fan of eating fish. But I do like the culture around it. I do like the idea going out on your own to get your dinner, your food, cooking what you catch. I had some friends I went canoeing with. We went in a few teams of people, and one team, all they brought was fishing gear and oil. If they didn't catch fish, they didn't eat. They lucked out. They caught a ton of fish. They actually caught enough fish that they traded for other essentials. They did run out of oil pretty quickly in their trip because of all the fish they were cooking. They also did not anticipate, the sides that go with fish. So they forgot about stuff like rice or, some sauces and whatnot. I think they're the ones who even ran out of salt. So they're just having bland fish, which, they said was all right. They did what they could with what they had. But yeah, it's weird how people from downstate don't understand the idea of self-sufficiency. About suffering for the joy of suffering. If you guys didn't know, there is a YouTubers, they're called Josh and Jace, are the two Brits that were here in the UP, and they got to go ice fishing. And they actually said it was the most miserable experience of their life, but so much freedom, so freeing. They felt more freedom being out there on the ice than they actually felt in their whole trip being here in America. That it was just such an amazing experience to be out there, catching your own food. You decide, how far you go out, how long you go out. Yeah, you get cold. Your legs freeze, your feet freeze, your hands freeze. You get hungry, you get tired. Excuse me. But you decide all that. You control all that. You decide if it's time to go in. You decide, do you want to fish some more? What fish do you want to keep? What do you want to throw back? What do you want to catch? And with no one but the DNR to tell you no, right? Which they do a lot of. A couple of fishermen did mistake me as a DNR officer. I had to explain to them, no, I am not with the DNR. I'm just here with the giving out some educational material about being safe while fishing, which they then accepted and were glad that I was there. So it was a good time had by all. But that is something that, especially this current administration, they just really don't understand. They don't understand why someone would want to be self-sufficient. Why would we want our own well? There's a big campaign right now trying to get people to get away from wells. When you have a well, you're the water operator. That's what I want. I want to decide, how do I get the water into my house? How do I test it? How do I distribute it? Do I treat it? I want that. I want to be in control. I don't want to have to rely on someone, maybe making minimum wage, who has to add chemicals to a water treatment plant, and oops, I added too much. Or a township that, maybe fudges a couple of numbers here and there when reporting about contaminants they found in the water. Maybe going to a non-reputable tester to test their water so that, they don't get any surprises. They get the data they want, as they say. I love it, though. I love being self-sufficient. I love having my own water source. I love controlling it, testing it, knowing that I am in charge of it. It's self-sufficient. Like I said, the state does not like people being self-sufficient. They'd rather have you, rely on someone else for your needs. And to me, that's really unfortunate. The ability to be self-sufficient allows us so much more control over our lives, over our freedoms, over our ability to realize, why this country was founded. We were not founded to be dictated by. We were founded to rely on ourselves. And ice fishing is a great example of that. It is a way for you to be self-sufficient, a way for you to get your own food. But you do it on your own terms. How long do you stay out? How far do you go out? How deep do you put down your line? Do you buy cameras? Do you buy tents? Do you buy sheds? You can go out there with nothing more than a hand auger and a small fishing pole and some good winter gear. I got to go fishing. I got to go check out some of the guys that set up who had, basically an RV with purpose built for ice fishing, with fishing holes and cameras and radar and sonar and all the R's. It was amazing. But honestly, the guy who had the most fish just had a simple little hand-built, probably cost him a few $100, little shanty. And he'd been out there most of the day, just dropping line, catching some fish. He was going to cook them up that night. Asked if I wanted to swing over for dinner. I turned him down because he swore his fish fry recipe would convert me. It wouldn't, sir. I've had so much fish and just don't really enjoy any of it. And but yeah, there's something that all government and anyone from downstate just doesn't understand about the appeal of being self-sufficient, the appeal of doing it yourself. And honestly, if you're being self-sufficient, the appeal of suffering a little bit, of pain, of disappointment, of failure. Being self-sufficient is not a winning game. Being self-sufficient means you will fail. Stuff will break. You will make mistakes. You will suffer a bit. Be cold. Be hungry. But that's okay, because you're in control of it. You're not reliant on someone else. You're not reliant on a system. You are reliant on yourself and what you can do. And boy, when you're in control and you're reliant on yourself, you do your research, you put in the effort, you weigh the pros and cons, you make tough calls and smart decisions. And there's something amazing about that. There's something just amazing about having that control over your life that, sadly, many people will never experience. And it's unfortunate. Well, folks, I'm going to go continue my self-sufficiency by loading my wood stove here in the garage and futzing with a propane heater that's not working and smoking a cigar. It's okay. That draw is getting a little weird. I'm thinking about to poke it here again. Drinking a beer that is surprising. And just kind of thinking about my next self-sufficiency project. So anyway, stay self-sufficient. Stay safe out there. See you on the next one.